Hello, UCAR. Peter Christensen here, coming to you from the CEO's desk. We're going to talk about a recent, it's not a super recent court case, but kind of recent court case. But it was recently denied by the Supreme Court, the U.S. Supreme Court. So the case is Designworks versus Columbia House of Brokers. And it was ruled on by a district court, and then I believe the original action was in Missouri, and then went to the appellate court for the Eighth Circuit, and then it went the plaintiff, I believe, requested that the Supreme Court look at it, and they said no. So why is this court case significant? Why does this one matter? Well, it's just an interesting one. Basically, an architect designed a home and then several and had it built. And I guess the unique feature for this was it had a triangular atrium with a stairway in it, and so it's kind of unique. Well, some brokers were listing some of these homes, and they rendered a architectural style drawing, so kind of an outline of the plans of the house. Now, they didn't use I don't believe they used the original plans. They did their own kind of drawing of the plans, but put that, I guess, unique home. They wanted to showcase that, and they put that in the listing. And the architect sued, saying, "You can't use my drawings. That's my intellectual property, and you're breaking my rights on that." And the brokerage pushed back and said, "Hey, this is not these are our own. This is just a drawing. We're just outlining what the house looks like, the floor plan of the house. We're not using your drawings. We don't think we're breaking any intellectual property rights here." And so they took it to court. The court ruled on behalf of the brokerages, and then they appealed it. The designer appealed it, and the Eighth Circuit Court of Appeals ruled in favor of the brokerages, saying, "Yeah, this is fair use. It's used for a different purpose. All the elements of fair use there. Like this is something different than the original. It's not infringing on your business as an architect. They're just trying to sell the house." So they asked the designer then asked the Supreme Court to settle this. Now, why is it significant that the Supreme Court did not take it? Well, it means that the lower court, the appellate court's decision holds. It stands. And for that district, it's the law. And it also signifies that the Supreme Court didn't believe there was a significant enough question of law to settle it, which can be interpreted as maybe the Supreme Court said this isn't like there's not enough controversy here. The lower court was right. We don't need to settle this. It's not a disputed thing. So what does that mean? Well, it's kind of interesting. It's an indication of how some of the courts are ruling. I have not seen – I looked and could not find a similar case in Utah. Not saying it doesn't exist. I didn't see one, and I don't think there's been one directly on point in the 10th Circuit. And so – yeah, but it gives us an indication of how the courts are looking at doing an outline, doing a drawing of the floor plan in advertising the home for sale. So is it controlling in Utah? Not necessarily. It's good. It's a trend in one direction. It gives you an idea of how the courts are ruling, and it can be cited if there's no on-point court cases in Utah, but not necessarily controlling. But, just kind of interesting. So I think it right now kind of gives some confidence that especially in the Eighth Circuit, you're fine to use your own drawings. Again, I wouldn't use the drawings of the architect, I think there's a case to be made there. But the feeling of that court was that doing your own drawings, showing the floor plan, was not an infringement upon the original architect. Just something to keep an eye on. The NAR was involved in that case and are touting it as a victory. And just something we like to keep our eye on, things that are happening in the real estate world and with listing and how that goes, what you can and can't post. So hopefully that is kind of interesting to you. Remember, this is not legal advice. If you need specific legal advice, please contact your attorney. Thanks for tuning in.